I mean, basically, my interests have very strongly coincided with the computer science program. So after taking a few of these intro classes that were a bit too low level, I went into Java and C++, which basically like were the light of my days in school because they were the most interesting and the most really engaging and classes that I took in this. Yeah. Well, I'm majoring in computer science, so I think that's quite a big impact right there. Because when I came in, I had no idea what I was doing. I had no interests, no real goals. I just sat there and played video games all day. Now I play video games and code all day. It's just a new extra future goal. Well, one thing is that they promote problem solving over routine memorizations like other classes. So even math, I saw people get through by just memorizing this like algorithms for how to solve a problem and just go through with it and just repeat the same steps. And if they can't get those steps, they screw up. I feel like it's much more difficult to do that in computer science classes, even like stuff like game design, because they require a lot of abstract and like conceptual thinking that other classes don't. So I think the value of computer science classes is that they actually engage students in a different mindset. If they haven't been trying to solve problems before, they actually teach them problem solving. For one thing, they're a lot more self-guided than other classes, especially introductory classes in other subjects. They're very, very rigid. So people do exactly like what's planned for the day, and there's a certain schedule. For computer science classes, you just work on projects at the speed that you can work at. And I think it teaches not only like problem solving, like I talked to before, but also time management skills, because a lot of people don't have that, and they just rely on teachers to keep them on track, which doesn't work when there is no teacher keeping you on track other than the occasional zero that ends up in your gradebook. I got my work in on time? Does that work as an answer? I don't find the projects particularly challenging, so I can't really say that I'm particularly proud of anything in the class because at this point they're more supplement to my learning than uh, individual. But if I were a different student and not myself, I would probably say that finishing Red Black Street would be the thing I'm proud of because it's a very tedious and long project, and completing it, you should just give yourself a pat on the back. Well, certainly problem solving. That's the one I mentioned before because I feel like I can approach problems in a much different way, and I can actually, figure out a solution or a possible way to go about something without having to be taught it first. A lot of people don't have that. A lot of people who aren't in computer science, I feel like, they just try to memorize, as I said, try to memorize stuff, which doesn't work. And the other thing is obviously programming. I know how to program now. It's nice. I get to write stuff for my classes, and it's pretty useful actually. I made a few things for myself that I actually use in my daily life, and I will keep doing that. And I think that being able to make something for yourself that runs on the computer is a pretty valuable thing to take away from classes in high school.